Hello, everyone. Ex-Wallkill Bethelite here. And I want to say to Stephen Lett, let's put Stephen Lett on the screen. We'll give you a minute to go get him. Go wake Stephen Lett up out the bed. Put some clothes on over top of your diaper and come listen, because I've got something to say. Stephen, are you ready? Stephen Lett or Stephen Lett? Your face is an enemy of God, not little babies. Little babies don't have facial distortion, dysphoria when they talk. Little babies aren't going, little babies are enemies of God. Like, they don't have these issues. Right? Stephen Lett, Stephen, whatever. If God liked you, why would he not fix your face? Why is your face an enemy of God when you talk? This is the truth of the matter. Most religion, granted, it is a form of hypnosis. The religious belief, you put the two together, religious and belief. You're just supposed to believe. But what you're supposed to believe is supposed to be comforting. Most people go to church, they'll go for the social aspect, but other than that, they've got music that's comforting, the choir, and they've got preaching, oftentimes that's supposed to bring peace, bring comfort. Jehovah's Witnesses, their leadership is talking about little babies being enemies of God. Why are you even giving a talk in regards babies? Babies can't even understand what it is that you're saying. Now, I heard a little clip. I can't watch all of Stephen's talks. I can't watch all of Stephen Lett's talk because I literally get, it seems like I get, you know how you get car sick? Well, I get facial distortion sick. His face is doing so much all at the same time. Mouth going all over here, eyes getting all wide and bug-eyed, bulging out like that. It literally, I get sick and I get dizzy and I get confused and I want to vomit when Stephen Lett talks. But of course, Jehovah's Witnesses do what Jehovah's Witnesses always do. Preach on something negative. Jehovah's Witnesses are, everything is surrounding something negative. If it's not the destruction of the world, then now you got Stephen Lett talking about little babies. They're not God's friends. Babies are enemies of God. Excuse me while I get some more methamphetamine. Okay, I'm back. Got me some nice methamphetamine and my face is going wild because my face is not a friend of God. This dude is obviously got some kind of mental issues. There's something wrong with Stephen Lett. God let Stephen Lett's face go into facial dysphoria. Facial dysphoria is a symptom. It's like a disease that only Stephen Lett had. I don't know anybody else that as soon as they start talking, their face goes wild. Have you seen Stephen Lett take pictures next to kids? Even when he's trying to smile for the picture, his face won't cooperate. It's like Stephen Lett's face wants to leave the organization. Stephen Lett wants to stay, but Stephen Lett's face, doing all this, wants to leave Watchtower. His face wants to leave the cult. And so what you're seeing is an internal battle. When Stephen Lett talks, he is trying to give a message, and his face is trying to get away from him and this cult while he's giving the message. So that's why it's like he's at war with his own face when he's talking. This is what I'm saying, brothers and sisters. Like his face is just, it just wants to jump off of his head and be free of that cult. So if a person thinks that a baby who, I don't even know how a baby would know how to sin. Like babies are thinking it wants milk and it wants to go to sleep and it wants something to play with. If you think that baby can be an enemy of God, what should all these millions of people looking at Stephen Lett's face think about his face? Is his face not an enemy of God? Is his face not doing things on the camera God does not want it to do, because God has not designed our faces to do things like that? So Stephen Lett's face is literally sinning against God every time he talks. Every time you talk, Stephen, your face blasphemes the Most High with all that crazy disformed movement. You need to start wearing a mask because, we just had COVID, so people are used to wearing masks. COVID or not, you need something to cover all that dysphoria, all that movement all over the place. Or at least when they have your part on the assembly, have it be a blank screen. Good Lord, have it be a blank screen. We don't want to see all of that. It's like your face is possessed. Your face is possessed by the devil. We don't need to see that. With the modern technology we have, you can just put a picture of your paradise belief or a Bible, put a picture of something else on the screen to cover your face when you're doing all that craziness all over the place. And the older you get, the worse it's going to be, because then you're just going to be all old and shriveled, and you're going to shrink, and your face is still going to be bug-eyed and just going crazy all over the place. Stephen Lett, as he gets older, is going to look weirder. It's going to get to the point where Watchtower is going to have to remove him from the governing body because he's going to be scaring all the children. What's up with that old man? Looks like he's demon possessed. You got like 13 demons in your face. So there was just an obvious issue with the little snippet that I saw. I didn't watch the whole assembly. You guys know I can't watch all that bullshit. So all I saw is everybody talking about Stephen Lett saying babies are enemy of God. I'm thinking they got to be making this up. Somebody's making it up, or he didn't actually say it. They think that he meant it. And I check a clip, and sure enough, this guy literally has the nerve, with all the malarkey his face does when he talks, to say somebody else is an enemy of God, when your face is an abomination. It's not supposed to do that. When God looked at creation and said, everything is good, he would not have said that if your face was doing all that dysphoria while talking. So they've got those hoods that you can put on over the top of your face. You could probably try Novocaine, Stephen Lett, Novocaine shots into your cheeks to make them droop and be numb, and maybe then all the facial dysphoria jerking around will stop, and the eyeball bulging out. You got to stop that. Squint them or something. Do like that when you talk, and just keep doing like that. Quit doing this when you talk to people, right? Because again, you think babies are an enemy of God because every time you get around a baby, the poor child starts screaming and hollering and crying because it ain't never seen somebody who looks like they're possessed when they talk coming near them. That's the reason why you think babies are an enemy of God, because every time you get around a baby, the baby starts screaming and hollering because you're scaring it with all that facial gyration that you do when you talk. Stephen Lett, you have completely misunderstood children. Because when children are around normal human beings, oftentimes they're nice, warm, cuddly babies, and they just enjoy being rocked. And how can something like that be an enemy of God? Well, when you come around, you scare grown adults with that crazy face gyration that you do. Your face is doing a mating dance. So when you get near a baby and this poor baby looks up and sees all this, hi, little baby, are you a friend of God? The poor baby is going to scream, holler, wet itself, and want to get away from this crazy looking man. It's not the baby's fault that babies don't like Stephen Lett. It's Stephen Lett's fault that babies don't like him, because he needs to get his face under control. Right? So there's therapy. I'm sure your governing body member, you got all that money coming in from Watchtower. You can afford facial deformity therapy, right? There's plastic surgery as an option. Speech therapy. You should have been in speech therapy years ago. Somebody needs to teach you how to talk without doing the twist with your face. Somebody needs to teach you how to speak, right? So that's my take on it. Most religions say things that are comforting. You leave it to Jehovah's Witnesses to have one of their leaders get on the stage and sit there and talk about babies not being God's friend. How stupid does that sound? And I didn't listen to the whole talk, just that little snippet. And I don't think that there's, even though I didn't hear the whole talk, I don't think there's a way that he could have explained his way out of that. That came out of your mouth, and that was not proper food at the proper time, right? So comment down below. Let me know what you think. I know one issue is once abortion becomes illegal in some states. Let's say if it becomes illegal in New York. Well, Stephen, you're going to think babies are an enemy of God because buku Bethelites are going to be leaving Bethel because they would have had a child, and without breaking the law, there would be no way for them to get an abortion. And Bethel doesn't want to take care of kids. So maybe I'm reading into it, but it's possible the governing body is sitting down having meetings saying, hey, they're about to change abortion laws. All our career Bethelites, the only way we keep these guys here is they're able to pick any woman they want out of that religious organization as wives. They get first choice. The Bethelites get first choice. They get to pick anybody they want, and then we pair them together at Bethel, and then they stay and continue to work for us for free. Well, what happens when this career Bethelite, his wife, gets pregnant? In my opinion, most likely they just get a quiet, the word has completely abortion. You get a quiet abortion, right? Why would Bethel not pay for an abortion for somebody who is doing work for free that otherwise they would have to pay all kinds of hourly salary for, right? So wouldn't it be cheaper for them to keep that free worker and just pay for an abortion? Well, what happens if New York outlaws abortion? Bethel can't. I'm telling you, governing body is probably in a meeting somewhere, and Stephen Lett's face is going crazy because babies are an enemy of God. If we can't have, think about it. I'm talking about Bethelites who are electricians, Bethelites who have skills that otherwise would cost Watchtower a lot of money to pay for. If that free labor leaves because their wife gets pregnant and they can't keep them there without giving them a wife, they end up leaving anyway. More Bethelites will be heading out. You mean to tell me somebody works at Bethel for free for years and years and years and they finally get a wife and they're not having all kinds of crazy sex all the time? And none of these people getting pregnant? Yeah, they're getting pregnant. And what happens when the husband, he is start career Bethel. He wants to stay at Bethel. He, matter of fact, thinks he's going to be a governing body member someday. More than likely, they just get a abortion. But in New York, if they make it illegal, I haven't looked to see if they have or not, but if they make that illegal, well, Bethel is either going to have to build a nursery, which is going to cost money, which they don't want to do, or they're going to have to just start letting all that good old free labor go when their wives get pregnant. So that might also be a reason why Stephen Lett thinks babies, they're not God's friend. Because we lose free labor when you come into the world. That might be one of the reasons why he thinks like that. So comment down below. Let me know what you think. 937-789-4029. X-Wall Kill Bethelite signing out.